Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien speaking here in a cool morning in Georgia. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd. Me and Bubba are here taking in the morning. He's waiting for his birdies. He loves Blue Jay to talk to anyway. I don't know if you'll see him today, but we'll try. Um, Wanted to do a video today and call it the Caravan or Human Caravan that you guys are going to have a problem with in about a month and a half. And if you watched my videos, the few of you that did, about 2 months ago when I was telling you about you got a migration problem, not an immigration problem. Okay, and it's actually caused by you guys, especially Democrats. You guys caused the mess that you're in now. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first, it's a voting season. So, like I said, it's Bubba and Mama. So vote Bubba for you people that don't like Democrats and Republicans. Tell them you mean business. Vote right in Bubba and get at least 8 to 12 or maybe even 20%. That'll make both parties blink and say, we got a problem. And they do have a problem. But they won't know that until you people, which they call the American people, and then they call dumbasses after they won the election, because they throw you into the bathwater. Tell them so, okay? So do that. And remember, get a hat and put Mama on it for Make America Meaningful. Okay. Over to the video with the Caravan. I'm going to take Mr. DeGracia's memory that he had from Panama because Panama used to be the dump place that you Americans put everybody that you made messes at. And you made a lot of messes in Central America, especially three countries, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. And who do you have a problem with those people coming in right now? Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. And here's why. In the early 1890s, the French were trying to build the canal, so they needed people. So they went to those three countries and got them here and left them. You Americans went and got some more in between 1904 and 1910. You went and got a lot more. But you realize that the Latins are lazy, which they are. So you went over to Barbados and Trinidad, Tobago, and you got people like that in Jamaica. There's a lot of Jamaicans, there's a lot of people from Trinidad and Tobago and stuff that you left in Panama. And El Salvadorians, Guatemalans, and Hondurans. But you didn't stop there. You meddled in their affairs, especially you Democrats, when you controlled the Senate for a long time, remember? You controlled it for over 30 years, especially in the 50s and early 60s. In the 1950s, you toppled the democratic government of Guatemala. And you meddled in El Salvadorian affairs and Honduras. El Salvador and Honduras don't like each other very much. And you meddled again in 1969, and it caused a war in the soccer game. This is verified memories, and you can check it, Americans. Go to El Salvador, go to your State Department. They got a lot of records. They can check this out. They should just declassify these and show you how messy you guys were in the 50s and 60s, especially with those three countries. And the people over there, even today, their descendants can tell you, we want reconquista and we want retribution. Also, remember in the 1850s, you got a guy named Walker. They wanted to be president of Nicaragua in 1855. Remember him? Well, the Nicaraguans didn't forget. So here you go. Also, you guys are blasting President Trump for his stance. He's got no other thing than to take that stance. And if I were him, I would take that stance. Close that border. Don't let any of those people in. And the Middle Easterners, I can assure you there's some in there. And I got personal, This is me, the alien, not Mr. DeGracia speaking, because in 2013, late 2012, early 2013, me and my wife here, we were in Walmart here in Marietta, Georgia, and there was two people asking Mexicans questions that they shouldn't have been asking. They had a heavy accent speaking Spanish, and they were showing them Panamanian passports. So me, having the, being in Mr. DeGracia here, spoke to them in Spanish and asked them about their what problems they were having. And one guy showed me his passport, and it was to a certain guy named Orlando Munoz out of San Carlos, Panama, born 1940. Now, this guy was about 37 years old in 2012, born 1940. That wouldn't be that. And the only reason I know this is because Mr. DeGracia had a cousin named Orlando Munoz, born 1940, but died in a car crash in 1966. And so I asked him, okay, do you know Combs? And he tells me in Spanish, oh yeah, nice city. Now, what does a Panamanian know Combs? Because most Panamanians can tell you they know nothing but their hometown. Being from Panama, I can assure you of that, especially if you go to the western part of the country. They don't like to travel. Not like the Panama City, which is a cosmopolitan area. But if you go to San Carlos, the area where Mr. DeGracia's people are from, it's very much home country, or a country as you say here in America. So I called the Panamanian consulate here, or the embassy in Washington, D.C., and asked them what their color their passports was, and they told me that they had changed the color in the last year, and it was a different color. I said, well, how about the two Panamanians? And I gave them the names and the Panamanian passport numbers. I never heard anything from them. I told them to contact Homeland Security. Well, this happened, like I said, in late 2012 or late 2013. 2.5 years later, after the midterms of the 2014, so this is late 2014, early 2015, I get a call from Homeland Security after they blew me off in 2012 and 13 and asked me if I knew where those guys were. How dumbass can you get? So you see, Americans, you are the cost, especially you Democrats. You causing all this mess. And I don't agree with President Trump in a lot, but it's an alien from another planet, and this happened to my planet 1,000 years ago, where they had this migration issue of people trying to go from one, as you call them, nation state to another. And they broke the biggest nation state in our planet. It caused it to go boom. So, tough luck on you Americans, especially you, I would say, not watermelons and coconuts for brains Democrats. People, vote them out. If they get what they want, you guys are in serious danger. The Republicans are not much better, but at least you have a few decades. But the Democrats, if you get them in power, your country will cease to exist soon. Thanks.